Jai Jai Sri Sitaram, Jai Sai Ram, Jai Jai Guru Datta, or Assalamu Alaikum to you, our listeners here on U97.5 FM, Multicultural Radio, coming to you live from Barrackpore in South Trinidad. On the Rochard Douglas Road in Barrackpore, the Vishnu Mandir, together with all the members and devotees in the community, have gathered together and are hosting 3 nights of Bhakti Gyan Yagna. The first night was last evening, and tonight is the second night. We'd like to extend a very warm and cordial welcome to each and every one of you listening to us here on U97.5 FM. Satsang comes alive just about 7. Sriman Vyasji, officiating, Pandit Abhedanand Persad Sharma ji, has already arrived. And the Bedi Pujan and the Puja Bidhi has been so wonderfully conducted by Pandit Randy Ragbir, and he has completed Pujan and is awaiting the start of this evening's program. So, my dear brothers and sisters, welcome. Jai Sitaram. Good evening to each and every one of you. It's evening time, and I invite each and every one of you to spare some moments as we join in devotions at the Sandhya, the evening Sandhya, Sayankal Sandhya. So, let us all join in devotions. It is coming to you here on U97.5 FM with the courtesies and compliments of our corporate sponsors. And we would like to express our thanks and gratitude to all of them. We say thanks to Touch of Life Full Body Massage and Detox Therapy of Scotts Road in Pinal, 319-1926. Dharam's Jewelry Limited of 126 Arangwes Main Road, Arangwes San Juan, 610-6179. S. Jagru Furniture Shop of Shivnarayan Trace, Rochard Road in Pinal. That's Rock Road in Pinal, Srinarayan Trace, Rock Road in Pinal, 647-1065. And you can also reach them at 370-2259. Asasco Chemicals and Enterprises Limited, with locations at 74 Arangwes Main Road, San Juan, 638-5114. And 87 Centenary Street, Extension, Page in Tunapuna, 222-4581. Devanand Hardware and the Variety Store of Petty Cafe Junction, Indian Walk, Maruga, 655-6758. Tiny & Sons Auto Parts and Paint Supplies of 49 Bellsmine Street, Curep, 663-3549. Dhanraj Cody Sawmilling of St. Mary's Village in Maruga, 378 6201. Rishi and Randy Fresh Fruits and Vegetables of 21 Glod Road, Tableland, 3749168 and 7067586. RS Furniture and Manufacturing Company Limited of 1066 SSRN Road in Debe, 6473682. Tire Jungle Limited and Alignment Center and 3A's Best Parts of 928 Naparima Mayari Road, George Village in Tableland, 761-7609 and 329-1093. Vish Hardware and Electrical Enterprises Limited and VJM Services Limited of 287 Southern Main Road, Aripero Village in Rosilac, 648-7852. Narendra General Hardware and Construction Company Limited of 31 1/4 mile mark, Eastern Main Road, Sangre Chiquito, Sangre Grande, 668-4695. Screwtech Limited and Selena's Marketing Limited of 792 Papuri Road, Barrackpore, 654-5208. That's 5205. Wheels by Bolo, 188 New Colonial Road, Carrot Hill, Barrackpore, 354-2400. Welding and Hydraulics Engineering Services Limited of number 70 Jokan Trace, San Francisco in Pinal, 647-3765. Chetram Tire. Rocky and Sons Construction Company Limited of 23 Bunsey Trace, Pinal Rock Road in Pinal, 331-2475. Extraordinary Designs Welding and Fabricating Limited of 40A Charles Street, Gasparillo, 289-3393. TN Ramnath and Company Limited, Lot 12, Timul Trace, Kalak Road in Pinal, 647-9884. The Diesel Specialist Limited of 968 Naparima Mayara Road, George Village, Tabland, 656-3154. Danny's Decorating Designs, 176 Kanhai Road, South Barrackpore, 365-1391. Elvis Tenton Party Rentals of 171 Aropuch Road, Barrackpore, 303-2364. Sam's Tire Shop out in Rochard Douglas Road, number 5 Scale in Barrackpore, 654-0679. Salim's Hardware and General Supplies Limited of 492 Rochard Douglas Road, Barrackpore, and Lal Bihari Trace, Devi. Their telephone number 654-1075. S. Persad Contracting, Jwala Persad Supermarket, and Persad's Home Improvement Center of Ramai Trace in Devi, 647-6797 and 647-5446. GIML Wholesalers, School Trace, New Grand Princestown, 390-2080. That number again, 390-2080. Share Ali Transport Limited and Alpha Transport Limited, 405 Komoto Road, North Barrackpore, 654-1033. Michael's Transport Limited, 103 Palmyra Village, San Fernando, 652-3075. Indira Mathura Hardware and Lumberyard Limited, Kelly Main Road, Kelly Village, Caroni, opposite the St. Helena Bypass at Piaco, 669-1174 and 337-6861. ADM Puja and Variety Store, 351 Kunjal Road, Barrackpore, 349-8673. Rollin Tire Importers Limited of number 5 Balmain and Couva, 679-1985 and 225-7766. The original A&A Barbecue and A&A Dessert Shop, SS Erin Road in Debe. Well, you have to check out the dessert shop for those wonderful goodies. Yes, indeed. SS Erin Road in Debe. You can call them before at 755-6477. Solo Supermarket out of Mission Road in Freeport and the Baldur Shopping Mart at the corner of Petersville Road and Kakani Road in Felicity, 673-2832 and 665-0488. These are our corporate sponsors who are making it possible for us to bring you live satsang here on New 97.5 FM, Multicultural Radio, broadcasting out of San Juan. The Vishnu Mandir and the members and devotees here in Rochard Douglas Road, each year they would host a Yagna. And this year, it is a 3 nights Bhakti Gyan Yagna, and officiating is Sri Sri Pandit Abhedanand Persad Sharma ji. He is the Vyas, and of course with the Bedi Pujan, Pandit Randy Ragbia. Well, my dear brothers and sisters, Pandit Abhedanand, the spiritual leader of this Mandir, and before him, his ancestors, they were in charge of this temple. So the main stage has been dedicated to, in special recognition of the late Pandit Janki Persad Sharma, the late Pandit Devki Persad Sharma, and Kaka Pandit Narayan Persad Sharma, Pandit Abhedanand Persad Sharma, and the late Pandit Premanand Persad Sharma ji. So this temple has been one of the places where the Persad Sharma family would have conducted pujan from time immemorial. This temple was opened on the 5th of October 1938, so it is a long, long time. And that dedication was made on the 15th of the 10th, 2013. So, my dear brothers and sisters, we are in hallowed ground where devotion has been taking place for a long, long time. And I'm sure before the temple was opened, devotions were continuing with the little siwala that you would see when you enter. It also has one of the flying Hanuman. But here is Panditji, let us join.
उमापति महादेव की जय. आप लोग कराओ जाइए, please stand as we join on this the second night of our satsang, visualizing the beautiful form of our Lord God, Bhagwan Shri Ganesh, Let's all pray. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Shri Saraswatyai Namo Namaha. Shri Guru Charana Kamalabhyo Govindaye Namo Namaha. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Chandika Rupena Sanstita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. Salutations to the Lord and Divine Mother of this universe. May we all be guided by the light of grace, the light of knowledge, and the light of mercy. Prabhu, Ma, may your light always shine in our hearts, our homes, in our lives, now and for always. Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare. Bhakta Jano ke sankat दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. पल पावे दुख बिन से मन का. स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का. सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. माता पिता तुम मेरे शरण कहूँ किसकी. तुम बिना और न दूजा आश करूँ मैं जिसकी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. परमात्मा तुम अंतर्यामी. पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी. ओम जय जगदीश हरे. तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता. नाथ तुम स्वामी कृपा करो भरता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। सबके प्राणपति
स्वामी सबके प्राणपति।
किस विधि मिलो दया में,
किस विधि मिलो कृपा में,
तुमको मैं कुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे। अपने हाथ उठाओ
अपने शरण लगाओ,
द्वार परा तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा।
स्वामी पाप हरो देवा।
श्रद्धा भक्ति भराओ,
श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ,
संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनो हरि। हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण जय राम राम।
हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण जय राम राम।
हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण जय राम राम।
हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण जय राम राम।
अयोध्यावासी श्री रामचंद्र आनंद रूपा जय जय राम। अयोध्यावासी श्री रामचंद्र आनंद रूपा जय जय राम। हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण जय राम राम।
हरि नारायण हरि नारायण हरि नारायण जय राम राम।
ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवधात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। हे मां दुर्गा, हे मां दुर्गा, हे मां दुर्गा। जय जगदम्बे मां दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे मां दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे
मां दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे मां दुर्गा,
जय जगदम्बे मां दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे मां दुर्गा।
जय जगदम्बे मां दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे मां दुर्गा।
नारायणी ओम नारायणी ओम जगदम्बे माँ दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे माँ दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे माँ दुर्गा, जय जगदम्बे माँ दुर्गा। प्रेम से बोलिए जगदम्बा देवी माता की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। आसन लीजिए, प्लीज बी सीटेड।
You're listening to Satsang on 97.5 FM Multicultural Radio, coming to you live from the Vishnu Mandir, Rosha Douglas Road in Barrackpore. The second of 3 nights of Bhakti Gyan Yagna, officiating Sri Sri Pandit Abhedanand Persad Sharma ji. Devotees have gathered in their numbers on the numbers and Rosha Douglas Road, number 5 scale in Barrackpore here. A beautiful drive coming up in the countryside. Not much traffic on the roads today, even though it is coming up to the mountain. But it's a cool evening in Barrackpore. It's still bright out here, and Sriman Vyasji pulls the harmonium once again. Here he is.
Once again, on behalf of the members of the Vishnu Mandir, we'd like to take this opportunity to say a very warm and special welcome to each and every one of you who have come to join with us on this second night of our 3 nights of devotion, glorifying and praising our Lord Bhagwan in our own humble way through the medium of satsang and through the medium of highlighting the glories and the greatness of our Shastras. Our discourses are taken from a very beautiful Prakaran Grantha called as Bhaja Govindam, composed by Sri Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, given to the world at a time when the dharma itself was challenged and it was about to split into many different directions, where people had lost faith not only in their dharma but lost faith in themselves. He brought back this knowledge through the medium of Advaita philosophy or Vedanta. And so through this beautiful text called as Bhaja Govindam, his knowledge, his insight into man's mind is to help us to break the attachment from the objective world, which is the cause and the root cause of sorrows in our lives. And so last night he reminded us that if we do not utilize our time in the constructive things of life and do not waste time in the wrong channels of activities in life, then we'll become the victim of sansara, the avagaman chakra. And therefore, he told last night to Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Please, O ignorant ones, please chant the Lord's name. Please chant the Lord's name and elevate yourself by becoming detached from the objective world of sensuality. And this is the only way we can really have peace in our lives. It's the only way for peace and for everlasting happiness. No doubt, the things and beings of the world will make us happy, but it will not last forever. And so tonight he continues in the second verse of this beautiful Bhaja Govindam. We like to welcome Sankhya Television, Bay Ramesh once again on Sankhya TV, and to all those who are viewing live on Sankhya Television, may the blessings of Bhagwan be with you and your loved ones now and always. To 97.5 FM, to Brother Chris Singh and members of his OB team, we say special thanks and blessings once again. Tonight he has with him his beloved Dharmapatni, and we say special welcome to you, Didi. And we are also streaming live through the Facebook page. I would like to say special thanks to Bhaiya Krishna and to Kavita for being here, joining with us, taking the Yagya live to the homes of thousands nationwide and by extension worldwide. We are also streaming live on Jivan Tattva, and we say special thanks to all those who are viewing locally and internationally and from other parts of the world. We send our love and we send our blessings to you and your beautiful families. Special thanks to Miss Nirala. Were you bomb scared today? You also, Kiran? All schools. So many schools had bomb scares today, and we pray for those teachers and principals and students who were traumatized by the incident and by the situation. So special thanks, nevertheless, to all those who are viewing on Jivan Tattva. At this time, we want to now invite you to sit back and relax, closing the eyes. As we turn our thoughts to the Mother of this universe, who is that divine Shakti? She is called as Jayanti, Mangala Kali, Bhadra Kali Kapalini, Durga Kshama Shivadhatri, Swaha and Swadha. To her, Namostute. We bow. Ma, as we seek your grace and guidance, may your blessing manifest in the form of protection for us, your children, and citizens of this beautiful Twin Isle Republic, Trinidad and Tobago. There's so much of violence and so much of crime happening, so much of negativities prevailing, O Devi. Ma, we bow to you as Durga, we bow to you as Kali, we bow to you as Bhaglamukhi, we bow to you as Chandika. Om Namas Chandikayai Namah. Let's all say. Om Namas Chandikayai Namah. 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 We pray as we chant your name, Ma, for the protection of our physical being. We pray for the protection of our emotional being. We pray for the protection of our intellectual and spiritual beings. Hey Devi, we bow to you and we pray that may your protection be upon us in every aspect of our lives. For there are so many tonight who might be in danger. There are so many who are experiencing difficulties, fear, anxiety. There are so many who are experiencing negativities. Om Namas Chandikayai Namah. 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 Ma, may we be blessed with your darshan. May we be blessed with your divine grace. दर्शन हो माँ तेरी सबकी अभिलाषा है, मन में रहो तुम सबके, तुमसे यही आशा है माँ। क्या मेरा और क्या उसका? What is really ours in this world? अपने पराया क्या माँ? तुम प्रभु ज्योत जला करके रोशन करो जग सारा है देवी। हे देवी माँ, तुम विनती सुनो सबकी ना। प्लीज लिसन टू आवर प्रेमा। कल्याण करो जग का। The entire world prostrates at thy lotus feet, O Devi माँ, सद राह दिखा करके माँ, we tread the path of truth, we see the path of purity. Udhar, O Devi, please lift us, माँ. सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का. तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का. सतराह दिखा करके उद्धार करो दुर्गा, उद्धार करो दुर्गा. तुम विनती सुनो सबकी. दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है. मन में रहो तुम सबके, तुमसे यही आशा है. दर्शन हो माँ तेरे, सबकी अभिलाषा है. मन में रहो तुम सबके, तुमसे यही आशा है. क्या मेरा क्या उसका, ये अपना पराया क्या. सद्ज्योति जला करके रोशन करो जग सारा, रोशन करो जग सारा. तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का. कभी धूप कभी छाया है, एक दिन उसे जाना है. जो भी यहाँ आया है, संसार तो माया है. कभी धूप कभी छाया है, एक दिन उसे जाना है. यहाँ आया है, क्या रंग है जीवन का, क्या रूप है मानव का. तुम ज्ञान भरा करके उपकार करो दुर्गा, उपकार करो दुर्गा. तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का. तुम विनती सुनो सबकी, कल्याण करो जग का. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता. नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः.
beautiful bhajan
Last night we
this evening,
concluded
and Sriman
where
here
Bhagwan
now
Shankaracharya
as he begins
told
his discourse.
that there are several ways to bhaja Govindam. There are several ways to chant the Lord's name, to glorify Him, and to get the body engaged in chanting, to get the mind engaged in chanting, and to get your whole body and soul engaged in chanting the Lord's name, so that when the final moment of our lives were to come, samprapte sannihiti kale, nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karne, that when the final moment of our lives were to come, we will not be caught up in the unnecessary things in life, but will be well focused. And the 9 things we saw last night was Shravanam, that we must be listening to the glories of the Lord and listening to positive things. So Shravanam. Second one was Kirtanam. Third one, Smaranam. Fourth one, Padasevanam. Fifth one, Archanam. Sixth, Vandanam. Seventh, Dasyam. Eighth, Sakyam. And ninth, Atmanivedanam. And this, as I read or reiterated, these 9 steps, we can also connect them to the Ramayana, Ramcharitamanas of Goswami Tulsidas Ji, when Bhagwan Sri Ramchandra Ji gave instructions to Shabari and he told her about the Navvida Bhakti. So in the Navvida Bhakti, following the instructions of Bhagwan Sri Ram, Pratama Bhagati Santahakar Sangha, Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga, etc., are the 9 stepping stones to elevate oneself on the spiritual path, on the path of bhakti, because Shabari was bhakti oriented. And in the case of the Vedanta philosophy, this is what you call Advaita, or what you call Vedanta, where you practice this on the path of philosophy, on the path of knowledge. So Bhagwan Shankara, having given these steps of how we can glorify and praise the Lord in our own humble way, seeking His blessing to elevate ourselves spiritually and in every aspect. And so, the second verse tells, as we all sing the chorus together, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate. Oh man, the time has come for you to chant. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate. Bolo, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi nahi rakshati dukrin karne. Samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshati dukrin karne. Bolo, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate. Buddhim manasi vitreshnam, murajahi danagamaya treshnam, purusat buddhim manasi vitreshnam, yallabase nija karmopatam, vittam yena vinodaya chittam. Bolo, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj Mudamate. Dalagatamatiray chapalam, tadvajjivitamatishaya chapalam, nari stana bharinabhidesham, drishtva magamohavesham, etanamam bhavasadi vikaram, manasi vichintaya varam varam. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam भज मूढमते भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गोविन्दं भज मूढमते गोविन्दं भज मूढमते. In the second verse of Bhaja Govindam, Bhagavan says, Mooda jahihi danagamaya trishnam kuru sat buddhim manasi vitrishnam yallabase nija karmo patam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. In this he is saying that, O ignorant one, Moodha means, like I said last night, Moodha means a fool. And a fool means one who does not do what they are supposed to do. That person is interpreted to be ignorant. So he says here that give up the thirst to crave wealth. Give up the thirst to crave wealth. Now, in the initial stages of our lives, the young people, what are they thinking about? All the young people, they're thinking about, okay, we have to get our education, we have to get a good paying job, we want to save to build our home, to buy our car, to live in comfort. No, that is only part of life. What is wrong with that? Anything wrong with that, Gita ji? Gayatri ji? Gita ji? Next Gita? How many Gita we have tonight? Only Gita sit down there, you know. Gita and Gayatri. So Gita, Ganga, Cha, Gayatri. What is wrong? Anything is wrong with possessing wealth? Bhaiya Krish, you have any extra to give? So Mura Jahihi Danagamaya Trishnam. The interesting word here is Trishnam. So there was a big difference between Krishna and Trishna. You know the bhajan that says, Jo tumhi tana chahe Jeevan ki. Jeevan ki what? No. See, when you say the wrong words, say any wrong thing, you know. See, Jo tumhi tana chahe Jeevan ki Trishna. Trishna. So if you see in that line, Jo tumhi tana chahe Jeevan ki Krishna, oh Krishna, I want to give you up. That's what you're telling Bhagavan Krishna. And then in the next line, you're saying, Subah Sham Bol Bande. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And next line is saying, Bhagwan, morning and noon, morning and night, I want to sing your name. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So in the first line, you tell him, go away. And in the second line, you tell him, come back. So you have Bhagwan like a yo-yo. So don't mix up your words. Trishna means desires. So the bhajan says, so here in Sanskrit also, it says, Murajahihi danagamaya trishnam. Give up not the wealth, but give up the craving for the wealth and the thirst for the wealth. Give up that craving and that thirst that sends us, thinking what you call in a very uncomfortable state of mind, where that craving is, you will do anything to get wealth. You will do anything. If you have to lie, if you have to steal, if you have to cheat, if you have to do anything that by false means to get wealth, you will do it. That is the meaning of Trishnam. Give up that thirst. Now, if you're working honestly and you are getting your salary and you are prospering in life, what is wrong with that? Nothing. Vedanta does not condemn that. Absolutely. And so to our scriptures when it speaks about the 4 goals of life, dharma, arth, kama, and moksha. Arth is part of it. When we are seeking arth or wealth, he says here that nothing is wrong, you must be comfortable. But when that craving becomes greed, and you have to now do unrighteous things to get it. And that is what is causing all the crime in the world today, You see that greed? That is what is causing all the calamities. And God forbid, God forbid, God forbid. There are so many negative home invasions happening, and so many people are living in fear. Yesterday we saw a video circulating where one person from a church in Laramie, she just went to the bank, maybe to do some of the business, church business, and she just went to the bank and came back, her glass broken in the car. Right, Gulfview. We saw someone, we see videos every day, and we see things happening. Why? It's because the trishna for this craving for this wealth is causing people to do crazy things and evil things. And you know what's the sad part? The sad part is, those who are doing the evil, they don't have a conscience. They're not even feeling guilty. You see, that level of greed, where there is absolutely no guilt for doing wrong things, that is what Bhagwan is talking about here. That is called Trishna. He says that is what we have to give up. And he says, the word mudha is that another philosophical meaning is, apart from the literal meaning of meaning a fool, it means one who suffers from his or her own ignorance. That person is a fool. Jai Bhagwan. When you suffer from your own ignorance. Today, we see that so many negative things are happening. All because of ignorance and all because of this Trishnam. So, give up the thirst, give up the craving for this wealth. And Kuru Sat Buddhim Manasi Vitrishnam. Set your mind, channel your mind in a certain way. You see, friends, you are the only person who are in control of your own mind. You and I, are the only person who are in control of our own thoughts and our own emotions. You know, when you go to India, or you look at any river for that matter, forget about India. When you go to any river and you see the water flowing, well, the reason why I'm saying India, because the Ganga, for example, is a constant flow, 24/7, 365 days per year. That water is just constantly flowing. There are no dry season and wet season thing when Ganga Devi. She always flowing. Like that, our mind also, thoughts are constantly flowing. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. For the past so many lifetimes, thoughts are constantly flowing. And the only person that is responsible for that is we ourselves. We ourselves are responsible for that. So Bhagwan says, you have to create in your mind an attitude of where there is no greed, where there is no trishnam, where there is no what you call passion to do evil and to do negativities. So Kuru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vitrishnam. Manasi Vitrishna meaning that you give up the false passion. You give up the greed, you give up the craving at the level of the mind. And that's exactly what this beautiful bhajan says. You see, in this case, it is saying, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamati. And in the bhajan that is sung, Jo tumi tana chahe jivan ki trishnam, subha sham bola bande, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So same, one is saying Govinda, one is saying Krishna. Same thing. So they said, Jo tumhi tana chahe जीवन की तृष्णा जो तुम्ही ताना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण 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 नाम पावन पावन, कृष्ण नाम प्यारा प्यारा, जो ना बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण जग में वो हारा हारा। कृष्ण नाम पावन पावन, कृष्ण नाम प्यारा प्यारा, जो ना बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण जग में वो हारा हारा। मन कामिते अंधियारा, बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण, मन कामिते अंधियारा, बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण। सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण। जिसको मिले ना पीरा, सुख का मरम क्या जाने, जो ना ध्याए कृष्ण कृष्ण बुद्ध का धर्म क्या माने। जिसको मिले ना पीरा, सुख का मरम क्या जाने, जो ना ध्याए कृष्ण कृष्ण बुद्ध का धर्म क्या माने। चाहे अगर उजियारा, बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण, चाहे अगर उजियारा, बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण। एवरीवन, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण। बतक ना दर दर, तोड़ दे अहंकार गेरा, भूल जा जगत में वैभव, जग है दुखों का डेरा। छोड़ दे बतक ना दर दर, तोड़ दे अहंकार गेरा, भूल जा जगत में वैभव, है दुखों का धेरा। फिर को है मारा मारा, बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण, फिर का है मारा मारा, बोले कृष्ण कृष्ण। सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण। जो तुम्हें ताना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, जो तुम ही ताना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण। So give up the thirst for this wealth, Bhagwan says. Bhagwan Shankara is saying, and you formulate in your own mind how you are going to stay contented. Because my dear brothers and sisters, santosham paramam sukham, contentment is the greatest happiness. You know how many people have plenty wealth and they're not happy? You know how many people have plenty wealth and they're not comfortable? What makes a person happy or comfortable is not what they possess. What makes a person comfortable or happy is not what they own, it's their state of mind. And this is what Bhagwan Shankara is bringing the mind. He's bringing us Kuru Sat Buddhim Manasi Vitrishnam. He says, create in your mind, devoid of passion, thoughts of the supreme reality. Because when we are able to focus upon the reality, which is the supreme self, the Brahman, the God, the super consciousness, then we can be contented in life. That does not mean to say that you, what you call, have to be without anything in the world to be spiritual. So Bhagwan is saying here, Yal labase nija karmo patam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. So whatever you get, see, our life is dependent. You know, Didi Gita, exactly how your life is going is because of your karma. Exactly how where Krishna's life is going is because of the karma. It is said here, Yallabase nija karmo patam. Exactly how our lives are going is because of our karma. So when you get up in the morning and think about the things you're going to do today, karma is causing those seeds to materialize in your mind on that day, and you're going to do it. So Yallabase nija karmo patam. It's all based on karma. So every one of us, we have a whole, in fact, entire lifetimes of karma accumulated in the antakaran of our lives, and those will multiply gradually as we go along. What is important for us now is to not only become the victim of our karma, but we must channel those karma into positive thinking. So therefore Bhagwan is saying there is a thin line between you being controlled by karma and the attitude with which you are experiencing those karma. Now you see there are three types of karma. You see, when you go into one thing, the philosophy takes you to another thing, right? You have three types of karma. You have sanchita karma, you have prarabdha karma, and you have agami karma. These are three karmas that we all experience. If you remember in the Lingashtakam, when you sing, Sanchita papa vinashana lingam tat pranamami sada shivalingam. It speaks about the sanchita karma there. So sanchita karma is what you call burnt up. So sanchita papa vinashana lingam. By worshipping Bhagwan Shiva, that sanchita karma will be burnt up and what you call fried up in the power of the devotion of Bhagwan Shiva. So sanchita, all kind of past karma, all sort of things accumulated in our past lives and the past of our own lives now. Then that becomes prarabdha karma. And the prarabdha karma is what we are going through right now, today, at this very second. That's called prarabdha. Now, if I am going through my karma right now, right? If I am going through my karma right now, and my karma is making me excited, or my karma is making me sad, can I ask you all a question? What choice do I have? Please tell me. Banerjee, you have a choice. Huh? Yes, you have control of one thing. So, my karma is taking me down this path of depression and sorrow or sadness, right? Because of some incident or some, what you call, influence in my life, I'm going through a path of a rough patch, let me put it that way. Or, in some cases, I'm going through a path of excitement and what you call elation. Now, I can do two things. One, I can react in two ways. One, I can become excited. And two, I can become depressed because my karma is pushing me in that direction. Now tell me something. When you are in the water and the wave is pushing you, do you have a choice? When the wave is pushing you, do you have a choice? Yes or no? Arey baap. Nobody talking to me? When the wave is pushing you, do you have a choice? Yes or no? Yes? Yes? What choice do you have? Very good. You have a choice to go with the wave or what? Or go against the wave. When life is sending you the path down the path of depression, or life is sending you up the path of excitement, do you have a choice? What's the choice? Go with the depression or go with the excitement? So either you become excited or you become depressed. No. Don't just go with the flow of everything. The choice is, and we have to be aware of what the mind is experiencing. And when we become aware of that, the choice is, I am not going to become excited. I am not going to become depressed. I am going to be neutral. Let the excitement happen. Let the depression happen. I am not excited. I am not depressed. That choice we have in the prarabdha. While we are going through the prarabdha in the present moment. So, it is very important to note that once you are aware of the changes that is happening in the mind, you can now take control of the mind and say, I am not going to be excited, I am not going to be depressed. You see, when the wave comes, you can either go with the wave, you said, or you can go against the wave, but you also have another choice. You could stand up firm there and let that wave. And when it's done, when the wave, say, I'll teach you a lesson, the wave. The wave want to throw you to the shore, or the wave want to cover you up and roll you around? No. Stand firm and don't shake. Isn't it? So, Yallabasenija karmopatam. Don't let your karma toss you around. Bhagwan says here in the so the prarabdha is what we are going through now. And then, very important point. Do you know that according to the way you react, now, if you become excited, you create karma. If you become depressed, you create karma. And if you stand firm, you did not create no karma. That is called agami. So, when you stand firm, you did not create any agami karma to reap again and again in the future. You would have there and then destroyed the seed of planting, rather destroyed the seed that is to be planted again to create another karma in the future. So you destroy the agami karma by standing firm. Stand firm physically so the wave don't toss you around, and stand firm mentally so that the emotions don't toss you around, so that you have no reaction, creating new reaction. So, yallabaseneja karmopatam vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Stay put and let your mind seek bhaja govindam, govindam bhaja mudamate. So, with the first part of this verse, Bhagwan tells us, he says, you have to be contented and you have to be, not to become the victim of greed, and you have to work for what you want, enjoy what you work for, but don't let the greed factor comes into your mind to derail you. Now that is point number one. Point number two is, while we are doing this, don't allow yourself to be tossed around. Yallabaseneja karmopatam. You fix your mind firm and don't react to situation. Don't let your mind be tossed about. I gave an example some time ago that, if you are in a boat and the boat is rocking like this, what happens to you? You're going to get seasick if your stomach is not strong. So you have to take some gravel. Do two things. One, you take some gravel, or two, you jump out the boat. My friends, I want you to note tonight, not everybody who is upset tonight can jump out their boat. There are some people that don't have a life jacket. There are some people that don't know to swim. And there are some people who are in this boat and they don't have a choice but to remain in that boat and suffer with the tossing of that boat. They have no gravel. But I want to reassure you tonight that you do have a life jacket. And the life jacket is in God's name, because we are not drowning physically. We are drowning, or we are in the ocean of samsara, drowning mentally. And because of the mental situation, the life vest is God's name. Brothers and sisters, put on your life vest. Once you are on the boat of life, keep on your life vest every day. Every moment. You just can't be in that ocean and be without a life vest. If you know you can't swim, don't go on the boat without a life vest. You see little children there, Sadie and her sister, when they jump in the pool, I'm sure mommy and daddy will put on life thing for them, floaties, unless they know to swim. How many of you can swim? Let me see. One whole man down in the back there. And all living in Barrackpore, and Barrackpore has flood? Jai Bhagwan. Everybody in Barrackpore is supposed to be swimmers. Huh? Oh, you didn't see the flood there, thank God. Huh? Friends, the life vest, the life jacket is God's name. And this is why we must never stop singing and never stop chanting. I want you all to chant with me. Let's all sing the Lord's name. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Let's put on our mental life jacket. Are you all putting on your mental life jacket? You know when you're putting on your life jacket, right? You have to buckle the stuff. The same way, I want you all to make the same motion. So let's put on our life jacket. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om.
Hari Narayana Hari Om.
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari Om.
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda,
Hari Narayana Hari Om.
Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Keshava Hari Govinda, Hari Narayana Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Narayana Hari Om.
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayana Hari
वनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारी वनमाली मुरली धारी गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारी नित नित कर माखन चोरी गोपी मनहारी नित नित कर माखन चोरी
गोपी मनहारी
हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंद नारायण हरि ओम
Hari
Keshav Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshav Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Narayan Hari Om.
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om.
Vanamali Murli Dhari, Govardhan Girivardhari. Vanamali Murli Dhari, Govardhan Girivardhari. Nit nit kar makhan chori, Gopi manhari. Nit nit kar makhan chori, Gopi manhari. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Narayan Hari Om.
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari
Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda,
Hari Narayan Hari
So, what we do is, we burn up the karma by chanting the Lord's name, and we focus upon that supreme reality. Entertain in your mind contentment, stability, balance. So, in the first verse, Bhagwan told that this man is wasting his time in the wrong channels of activity at the last stage of his life. In the second verse, Bhagwan's main message is that we get caught up with the greed of possessing the wealth of the world. And tell me something, friends. I want to ask you all a very important question. What is the next thing, apart from people being caught in the web of greed? What is the next thing that destroys a person? So, from greed to covet wealth and to possess wealth and etc. etc. Now, when you're done, have all the wealth in the world, what next? People do to destroy themselves. Huh? Sorry? They get angry? Well, when someone now gets all the wealth in the world and they're comfortable and time to enjoy the wealth, you know what happens? Something very sad happens. In some cases, if we don't have our head on and our shoulders. It is said, Nari stanabharinabhidesham Drishtva maga mohavesham Etanamam savasari vikaram Manasi vichittaya varam varam Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudamate. Bolo. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudamate. Everyone, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudamate. Stanabharanabhidesham Drishtva mohavesham Etanamam savasad-vikaram Manasi vichintaya varam varam. Bolo. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudamate. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam, Bhaj Mudamate. Now, after you accumulate all this wealth, etc., and you are supposed to be living a luxurious life now, You know what is the next detriment to a man's or a woman's life? He says here, Nari stana bharanabi desham. Because, my friends, man is never, excuse me, man or woman are never satisfied with their possessions alone. Isn't it sad? That we are not satisfied with our possession alone. And he says, again, Bhagwan Shankaracharya, who is also the composer of a beautiful text called Vivek Chudamani, he says in Vivek Chudamani, Amritasya nashasti, Vitte nettvendva hi shrutihi. In Vivek Chudamani, he quotes the famous Brihadaranyaka Upanishad when he says that the deathless and the imperishable can never be hoped again through what you call the material possessions of the world. The deathless and what you call the imperishable cannot be gained by all the wealth that you possess of the world. And in Vivek Chudamani, he says, well, he quotes the Vivek Chudamani and he quotes the Upanishad to say the same thing. That you can have all the possessions in the world, the imperishable and the deathless state of that imperishable being cannot be attained by whatever you have. That's why they say, Aaye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela, do din ki zindagi hai, do din ka mela. You came in this world alone, you live in this world alone, and when you think you have everybody around you, you're really alone. And one day comes, you just drop, dum dharaka. And that's it. Hands came empty. And the hands came like this, you know. Look at the baby hand. That little thing holding on to everything. When you see the bone. Two hands like this. And when someone dies, you see both hands. Which means they're going back with nothing. So, men and women, they are not satisfied with the wealth alone. So when you have all the wealth, Bhagwan Shankaracharya goes one step further. He says, people destroy themselves by nari. Nari means a woman. Nari means a woman. So nari stana bharanabhi. Nabhi means the navel. Nari stana bharanabhi desham drushtva. Having seen maga moha vesham. When a man who is not satisfied with his wealth alone sees the body of a woman, then what happens to him? He becomes maha moha vesham. He becomes completely deluded now. And now he wants that also. Because the woman's body, and no, it works both ways, and not only the woman's body, man's body also. So when the man or the males are attracted to the female's body, and the females are attracted to the man's body. Now we have, modern times, we have a little bit in between. Why are you all laughing? That's the truth. Okay, laugh if I want. So, men attracted to woman's body and women attracted to men's body. That is the meaning of nari stanabharanabi desham. So, when you have all the wealth in the world and you're not satisfied, now you start going after the body of a woman or the body of a man. And that's why in the Holy Bible, if I were to quote, it says, do not get lost in the flesh. Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji is telling us that the flesh attracts the mind. And the flesh, what you call, na vetina tarapaniyo manushyaha. In the Kathopanishad, it is saying that men and women become so caught up and so lost in this world of delusion that they are never satisfied with what they possess. And so, you see many families breaking up, many successful families, let me rephrase that, Pandaji. Many so-called successful families breaking up because they are not just satisfied with what they possess. They want more, and they go after the flesh. Isn't that true? Is it true or not true? True or not true? And you see this? Hundreds of years before now this was given. And in the case of the Puranas and the other scriptures, thousands of years before now. So since all the way back then, we are changed yet. And all the saints and sages came and talking. You had all these great saints, like Bhagwan Shankaracharya, he wrote all these scriptures for us to remember. Coming down the line, you had Sant Tulsidas ji, you had Valmiki ji, we had Bhagwan Ved Vyas ji writing for us to follow along, and they all telling us the same thing. And then you have all different kind of organization. Buddhists come and form, you have Vaishnavas come and form, you have Shaivites came and form, and you have Shaktas came and form, and all these different people following Christianity and Islam and Buddhism, what you call? Jehovah, and everybody telling you follow this, and everybody telling you these teachings. Are we a change yet? So we're running after the flesh. When we have the money, we then Nari stanabara nabi desham drishtva maga. And Bhagwan says here, he says by only seeing, he gave an example. He says the navel of a female person. But of course he means both genders, male and female. So vice versa. So drishtva maga moha vesham. Then this maga moha vesham, we become completely deluded. Where you want to see the body of a female person, you lose respect for the female of the home. You want to see the body of a male person, you lose respect for the male in the home. And then that's the meaning of mohad vesham. You become now completely deluded, and the same person that you love and got married into the home, now you don't want to see that person again. Why? Because now you have been satisfied by that person, and you want more satisfaction, so you're going outside. And one after the next, until life comes and ebbs away very quickly, only to realize, and no man or woman, as the case might be, who would have experienced this in life, in the last days, they would have recollected, why did I do this? Why? Why did I do this? And that's why the bhajan that tells, you came in this world so clean and nice, and the sheet of your life became so contaminated. Meli chadar or ke kaise. Remember that bhajan? Maili chadar or ke kaise. That we came in this world so clean. With a nice clean sheet. And we became what we call contaminated. Why? Because we lost control of ourselves. We lost control of the moral way of life. And Bhagwan says, when people who have accumulated wealth and they are not satisfied, then they run after the flesh. And that is when the verse says, Nari stanabharanabi desham, become deluded, they become completely deluded, and this thought will continue continue to plague your mind. Varam varam, again and again. मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारी आऊं, द्वार तुम्हारी आऊं। हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन शर्माऊं। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे। जग में भेजा लेकर निर्मल काया, आकर के संसार में मैंने इसको दाग लगाया। जन्म जन्म की मैली चादर अब क्या दाग छुड़ाऊं। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे। निर्मल वाणी पाकर तुझसे नाम न तेरा गाया। नैन मूंद कर हे परमेश्वर कभी न शीश झुकाया। मन वीणा की तारे तूती, मन वीणा की तारे तूती, अब क्या गीत सुनाऊं। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे। इन पैरों से चल कर तेरे मंदिर कभी न आया। जहाँ जहाँ हो पूजा तेरी कभी न शीश झुकाया। हे हरिहर में हार के आया, अब क्या हार चुराऊं। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे द्वार तुम्हारे आऊं, द्वार तुम्हारे आऊं। हे पावन परमेश्वर मेरे, मन ही मन शर्माऊं। मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे, मैली चादर ओढ़ के कैसे। So, Bhagwan says here, he says, we become Mahamoha. We become completely delusional with this Maha, rather Moha Vesham. Maha Vesham meaning that we become completely lost mentally, tempted. And that's when temptation is born. And when temptation is born, we run after that object of temptation. It could be a person, it could be something or the other. We just run after it without any right As a matter of fact, people say love is blind. You ever hear that? You think that's true? You think that's true? Love is blind? Kiran? Where, Krish? Love is blind? I want to tell you all something. Love is blind when there is moha. When the mind is affected by delusion, love becomes blind. If love was blind, it would not have been so sweet. Isn't it? Love is the sweetest thing, When love is so sweet when you hear Tum paas aaye. Jai Bhagwan. Anyway, let's not go filmy tonight. Think about the love between a mother and a child. How sweet. You could imagine the love a mother and a child shares, and a father and a child. As the purest kind of love, And forget about the child love for the mother. Think about the mother's love for the child. See, that love don't have two eyes, That love have eyes right around. Pure love. The love that have moha in it is the love that is affected by lust. That is the love that is so-called blind love. So when we want to do wrong things, we say, love is blind, man. Naturally, if it's blind, you won't see. So Nari stana bharanabhi desham vesham drishtva maga moha vesham, becoming completely delusional. Etan mam savasari vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. Oh man, this is but just the body, it's just a modification of flesh and fat. Don't become lost behind the lust, and rise yourself to seek Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Modamate. Now you see, my friends, as I prepare myself to conclude tonight, remember, I want you all to remember this, right? Every object that we perceive in this world is all, as a matter of fact, all living organism in this world move towards one great harbor in life. All great organisms in this world move towards one great harbor. And what that is? They are seeking peace and harmony. If you see an ant walking on the ground, he looking for peace. He expecting he going to get bop on him, or shell tox, or some insecticide. He not expecting that. He expecting that he going to find sugar somewhere, and he busy going down the road, or a bachak, or a serpent. Every living organism that is on this earth, even the millibug on the flower plant, he also thinking, I am moving towards pleasure and happiness. So my friends, they are seeking peace and harmony. And all of them are instinctively whipped up by two, what you call, definite urges. One, if you see the snake on the ground, if you see the spider, if you see the bachak, if you see the cow, if you see the sheep, if you see the human being, every one of them trying to escape from dukkha nivritti. They are trying to escape pain. Every single being trying to escape pain. Dukkha nivritti it is called. And what they are moving towards? Sukha prapti. They are moving towards happiness. Everybody moves away from pain and sorrow, and they are moving towards relief and happiness. But, you know what is the sad part? The sad part is, we are moving in the direction of happiness. But unfortunately, what we are seeking is giving us temporary happiness. We are moving away from pain and sorrow, but unfortunately, the pain and sorrow that we are moving away from is only temporary because we keep on repeating the process. How can you get everlasting love by going after temporary things? How can you get, you see, the doctor can't treat the symptoms. The doctor has to treat the cause of the disease or the complaint. If the doctor treats the symptoms, you will get some relief, no doubt. But the pain is going to come back. And that is the meaning of dukkha. So Bhagavan says here, when you are seeking, seek the infinite one time. Get into your mind, let it stick into your brain, into your thoughts and emotions, and realize that everything in this world is only temporary. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Everything and everyone in this world is only temporary. Focus on the infinite. Don't be tempted by the temptations, and let us not be the victim, my friends, of greed and the negativities of this world. Prem se boliye Govind Bhagwan ki, Sat Gurunath Maharaj ki. With this, I conclude my discourse. At this point in time, we will now stand for the final Purnahuti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha Om Sarvapapaharam Divyam Gangeyam Nirmalam Jalam Achmanyam Maya Dattam Grihana Parameshwaram Om Shri Ganga Achmaniyam Samarpayami Om Vanaspati Raso Bhuto Gandhadyo Gandaruttama Agriya Sarvadevanam Dhupoyam Prati Griyatam Dhupoyam Prati Griyatam. Everyone lift your hands and receive the blessings of the Yagna. Om Shri Sarvadevi Sarvadevtaya Namaha Om Namaschandikaya Namaha Om Namo Hanumate Namaha. जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे पावे दुख बिन से मन का
स्वामी दुख बिन से मन का
सुख संपत्ति घर आवे
सुख संपत्ति घर आवे
कष्ट मिटे तन का
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण कहूँ किसकी
स्वामी शरण कहूँ किसकी
तुम बिन और न दूजा
तुम बिन और न दूजा
आश करूँ मैं जिसकी
ओम जय जगदीश हरे
स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता।
स्वामी तुम पालन करता।
मैं मूरख कल कामी,
मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी।
कृपा करो भरता।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
तुम हो एक गोचर सबके प्राणपति।
स्वामी सबके प्राणपति।
किस विधि मिलो दया में,
किस विधि में लो कृपा है।
तुमको मैं कुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे।
स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे।
अपने हाथ उठाओ,
अपने शरण लगाओ।
द्वार परा तेरे।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा।
स्वामी पाप हरो देवा।
श्रद्धा भक्ति भराओ,
श्रद्धा प्रेम लगाओ।
संतन की सेवा।
ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे।
भक्त जनों की संगत, दास जनों की संगत, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण ओम। ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम। नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। नारायण नारायण ओम। जय सद्गुरुदेवा। मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन, यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धु च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्वेदम् ॐ श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु। प्रेम से बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। प्रेम से बोलिए सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय जय सीताराम। Please be seated, friends. Please remain and enjoy
my
your
friends,
dinner.
with
Have a
the
safe journey back to your homes.
final Jai Jaikar, the concluding mantras of grace, of benedictions and blessings, we have come to the end of our live coverage of this, the second night of 3 nights of Bhakti Gyan Yagna, being hosted by the members and the devotees of the Vishnu Mandir here at number 5 Scale, Roshan Douglas Road in Barrackpore. The second night of 3 nights of Bhakti Gyan Yagna, and officiating Sri Sri Pandit Abhedanand Persad Sharma, and with the Puja Vidhi Pandit Randy Ragbearer. And this evening, the theme of our Katha, taken from that scriptural text as Panditji began last evening, Bhaja Govindam. And it talks about Santosham Paramam Sukham. You know, while wealth is necessary and important for everyday living, it guides us to give up the craving and the greed for money and for that wealth, as described as Trishna at the level of the mind, and replace that with contentment or Santosham. When life tosses us to and fro on the sea of daily life, put on the life jacket of the Lord's sublime name and face the challenges with equipoise. Friends, is man the creator of his own destruction or his deliverance by the choices he makes? Who knows, perhaps that could be the Katha for another time, right here on New 97.5 FM Multicultural Radio. Our live coverage and our broadcast came to you this evening with the kind courtesies of all our corporate sponsors, and we would like to express our sentiments of gratitude to all of them this evening once again. We say thanks to Touch of Life Full Body Massage and Detox Therapy, Alpha Scotch Road in Pinal, 319-1926. Dharam's Jewelry Limited of 126 Arangwes Main Road, Arangwes in San Juan, 6106179. S. Jagru Furniture Shop, Shivnarine Trace, Rock Road in Pinal, 647-1065 and 370-2259. Asasco Chemicals and Enterprises Limited with 2 locations of 74 Arangwes Main Road, San Juan, 638-5114 and 87 Centenary Street Extension, Pajay, Tunapuna, 222-4581. Devanand Hardware and Variety Store of Piri Cafe Junction, Indian Walk, Maruga, 655-6758. Tiny and Sons Auto Parts and Paint Supplies of 49 Bellsmite Street in Kirep, 663-3549. Dhanraj Cody Sawmilling of St. Mary's Village, Maruga, 378-6201. Rishi and Randy Fresh Fruits and Vegetables of 21 Glod Road, Tableland, 374-9168 and 706-7586. RS Furniture and Manufacturing Company Limited of 1066 SS Erin Road in Davie, 647-3682. Jungle Tire, that's a Tire Jungle Limited and Alignment Center of 3A's Best Parts of 928 Naparima Mayara Road, George Village in Tableland, 6761-7609 and 329-1093. Vish Hardware and Electrical Enterprises Limited and VJM Services Limited of 287 Southern Main Road, Aripero Village in Rosilac, 648-7852. Narendra General Hardware and Construction Company Limited of 31 1/4 mile mark Eastern Main Road, Sangre Chiquito, Sangre Grande, 668-4695. Screwtech Limited and Salinas Marketing Limited of 792 Papuri Road, Barrackpore, 6545205. Wheels by Bolo, 188 New Colonial Road, Carrot Hill, Barrackpore, 3542400. Welding and Hydraulics Engineering Services Limited of 70 Jokan Trace and Francique in Pinal, 6473765. Chetram Tires. Rocky and Sons Construction Company Limited of 23 Bunsey Trace, Pinal Rock Road, Pinal. You can call them at 3312495. Extraordinary Designs Welding and Fabricating Limited, 48 Charles Street, Gasparillo, 2893393. T.N. Ramnath and Company Limited, Lot 12, Timol Trace, Clark Road, Pinal, 6479884. The Diesel Specialist Limited, 968 Naparima Mayara Road, George Village in Tabland, 6563154. Danny's Decorating Designs, 176 Kanhai Road, South Barrackpore, 3651391. Elvis Tent and Party Rentals, 171 Oropuch Road, Barrackpore, 3032364. Sam's Tire Shop of Rosha Douglas Road, number 5 Scale, Barrackpore, 6540679. Salim's Hardware and General Supplies Limited, 492 Rosha Douglas Road, Barrackpore, and Lal Bihari Trace in Debi, 6541075. S. Persad Contracting, Jwala Persad Supermarket, and Persad's Home Improvement Center, Ramai Trace, Debi, 6476797 and 6475446. GIML Wholesalers, School Trace, New Grand Princestown, 3902080. Share Ali Transport Limited and Alpha Transport Limited, 405 Kumuta Road, North Barrackpore, 6541033. Michael's Transport Limited of 103 Palmyra Village, San Fernando, 6523075. Indira Mathura Hardware and Lumber Yard Limited, Kalimin Road, Kelly Village, Caroni, opposite St. Helena Bypass in Piaco, 669 1174 and 337 6861. ADM Puja and Variety Store of 351 Kunjal Road in Barrackpore, 349 8673. Rolling Tire Importers Limited of Balmain Village, and that's Balmain Road, Balmain in Kuva, 6791985 and 222257766. The original A&A Barbecue and A&A Dessert Shop of East SS Erin Road in Debe, 7556477. And finally, Solo Supermarket on Mission Road in Freeport, together with Baldew Shopping Mart at the corner Petersfield Road and Kakandi Road, Felicity, 6732832 and 6650488. These are our corporate sponsors, making it possible for us to bring you live coverage of this second night of 3 nights of Bhakti Gyan Yagna, being hosted by the members and the devotees of Barrackpore, especially the Vishnu Mandir here at number 5 Scale, Rosha Douglas Road, right here in Barrackpore, and officiating Sri Sri Pandit Abhedanand Persad Sharma. Well, my dear friends, thank you for joining with us, all our listeners on the U97.5 FM Multicultural Radio, and all our Facebook and YouTube listeners and viewers. Thank you for joining with us. We do apologize for our broadcast this evening, where we only were able to bring you half of the broadcast, 1 hour. But perhaps we will reschedule and rebroadcast tonight's program so that you will get the entire thing at some point in time. Well, we will tell you more about that as you listen to U97.5 FM. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, we leave you with the invitation to join us tomorrow evening for the third and final night of these 3 nights of Bhakti Gyan Yagna here at the Vishnu Mandir in Barrackpore. We now invite you to stay tuned. We have great music lined up for you until the wee hours of the morning. Until then, we take you back to our studios in San Juan for continued programming.